The Incarnon Zylok Prime. Nope, that sounds wrong. The Zylok Incarnon Prime. It sounds pretty much the same wrong. Zylok of the Incarnon. That's fucking awful. Primed Incarnon Zylok? Oh my god, they all suck. I'm just gonna go with the first one. Hey, what's happening everybody? Hope you guys are feeling great. I'm Team Kills and what I like to do is make gaming easier. Okay, so let me start off by getting this right off my chest and saying I don't actually like the Zylok. I don't like it at all. But sometimes things are just too good to not talk about. Well, technically, I could just not talk about it, but that would be a damn shame. A good goddamn shame. Now, my only real issue with this weapon is the duplex fire. I don't like it. Maybe you like it, or maybe it doesn't matter, or maybe I should just move on. Now, as for one of the best weapons that I don't like, it actually has everything that I actually need. Except for a better fire rate. And now I'm gonna stop complaining. My Incarnon choices, number one, of course, is shoot people in the face and build up charges, because that's what we all get. Now my Evolution 2 choice gives me a 30 base damage boost and raises my crit multiplier. Evolution 3 gives me a 60% accuracy boost and a 60% recoil reduction. Evolution 4 raises my crit chance by 30%. Now you might want to change an Evolution choice if you're going for straight damage, like the most you could pack into one bullet. That's a great choice, by the way. This pistol has a high base damage, so there's pretty much a great chance that no matter what you do, you're going to get a high modded damage. Now, I came up with a layered status build, a crazy crit, and a trick shot or a tricky shot build. Now as for the layered build, this is just layers of ice, so it's actually a block. Saxum Spittle and Carnus Stinger, they do bring slash and impact, and it is over 100%, but the real layers here are status mods, ice element, and secondary shiver. Secondary shiver gives me a 45% damage boost on any enemy that's affected by cold. And at 129% status chance, every enemy is affected by cold. Slash and impact, they also do some fantastic things. In a perfect world, you can have an enemy rip into two pieces and then fly away in slow motion. My hot shot seems similar, but it's not. At 100% status, fire element, so it is a hot shot, things are going to burn. This is a crit gun. The 100% fire status, which makes enemies do the fire dance, strips a little bit of armor, and there is a 480% fire status boost because of this arcane, which I feel like I shouldn't mention. It actually only stacks up at 12% per kill, but there's no timer, so you will get there by the end of the level, but it's not a 400% boost. As soon as you slap it on, you gotta earn it. But all that status goodness, that's actually secondary. There is a 126% chance that you're gonna do 5 times 8,000 plus damage. This is a hell of a hot shot. By the way, after the Incarnon transformation, the damage raises to a 168% chance that you're going to do 5 times 18,000 damage. Oh, and the radial attack, that's 25,000 damage as well. It is a hell of a hot ass shot. But in my opinion, the best shot is easily the trick shot. I mentioned this before at the very beginning of the video that I don't really like this weapon. Well, when I'm using this build, I kind of really like this weapon. This turned out way better than I was expecting. Let me fully explain. Now, on top, high damage, on top of just being an awesome ass weapon, this thing is designed to destroy heavy armored assholes. That's what it's designed to kill. At 100% status, gas and impact, gas is kind of a tricky element. It likes to bypass certain shields and just burn people to death, and it's good to have gas clouds just hanging around when enemies come around the corner to die in it. Impact, also fantastic animation when enemies go flying away, but when it comes to enemies with overshields or heavy armored assholes, when impact status stacks, it will bring their mercy bar up to 80% of their health. There are some enemies that have a lower one and you just have to kill them straight. If you're having problems killing them and you're using an impact status and it's a status weapon, that health bar or mercy bar is going to go up to 80%. It's an extra tricky way to get rid of them. Now, also on impact status, this mod Homerage gives you a 35% chance, but it's actually double for weapons who have a fire rate under 2.5, and this weapon has a fire rate under 2.5. So there's actually a 70% chance to apply slash to any asshole who survives your first poisonous impact shot, which happens to be the Exemusasus. They have survivability when you shoot them because of all their extra overshields. They sometimes take more than one shot. Although, with secondary fortifier, you could possibly turn that back into one shot, maybe. Secondary fortifier gives you 1 point of overguard per every 100 damage you do to overshields. I know, seems super small. So, if you do 1,000 damage, you're going to get 10 overguard. This weapon has 5,000, so that's 50 overguard. When this arcane is maxed, fortifier does 8 times the damage. So, instead of 50 overguard, it's actually going to be 400 overshields per shot, or overguard. Now, Exemus advantage. With this mod, when you shoot an Exemusasus or Exemi in the face, which is of course where we want to shoot them because, well, they've got all those extra shields and we want them dead as soon as possible. But if you shoot them in the face, you get an extra 600% damage boost. Now with absolutely horrible math, because I do not have my calculator with me, 5,000 times 600% might be 30,000 damage. And at 30,000 damage, that'd be what, 300 overguard? This is probably so wrong. At 8 times 300 overguard, that's 2,400 overshields per shot, I think. Without a calculator, I actually have no idea. It's definitely not 1 for 1, but it basically steals overguard. It kills. It mostly kills, but it is an overguard stealing gun. It caps at 150,000 overguard. Like that's as high as you need to get. Oh, and by the way, all my bad math that's probably really wrong was based on 5,000, which is the base damage. So once you incarnify this, it's going to go up to 12,000 instead of 5,000. I'm not going to screw that math up, but it's just a shit ton more. Now, like I always say, tweak this, make this yours. I personally used Amalgam Barrel Diffusion just because I usually have this in Mesa or Protea's hands, and it makes them dash way too fast. It's, I guess, useful. I'm having more fun than anything. You could change that to a more useful mod. I personally didn't even finish this weapon out. I didn't do an Alexis mod spot. You could put a stabilizer mod in there. Doesn't really need it, but you could put one in there. No matter what you do, just make it yours. This Incarnon transformation has actually turned this, what I thought was a mastery fodder weapon, in my opinion, into something that's worth a slot. But that's just my opinion. And on that note, I hope this helped. I hope you join the team of killers. Become a killer of teams. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. It's one of the ways we could talk. Make sure you keep it easy in life. And remember, just keep gaming.